So you got into, obviously you've been, as you mentioned, how you got into PT instructor, but what was the main inspiration of this other than helping people turn their lives around?
That was it, to be fair. Like I'd always struggled at school. I was always, unfortunately, I was the short fat kid with dyslexia, so I was bullied a lot because I didn't.
Yeah.
I was a square peg trying to get into a round hole, and the problem is when you stand out, that's when you get unnecessary attention. And I knew what it was like for me. Like, and to be fair, I wasn't overweight as a kid. I was just thicker set than everybody else. You know, I'd
Yeah.
always been a bit of a unit. And it was just at school, I was just bigger than everybody else. And then when I got into the gym, I ended up getting even more bigger. And then I thought, well, I've turned this around now. I'm now confident, you know, because I'm not hiding away. I'm not holding my head down because I don't want to be bullied. I'm working, I'm earning a physique, and I'm going to stand with my head proud because I don't want to fit into your little round circles or your square pegs and all this stuff. I'm me. And I wanted to give that back to everyone else. I want them to have that feeling that they can do anything that they want and that no one should dictate to them that they can't do this, because who are they to tell them they can't?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, nobody has the right to tell you how to live your own life. Nobody tells you, you can't go to the gym, or you're not going to make it as a bodybuilder. It's not about necessarily making it as a professional athlete. The gym is a place where people go to make themselves feel better.
Exactly. We're all there for the same reason. We're just walking a different path. The end goal is the same. We just want to feel better about ourselves. So me prepping for, you know, another British title is just as important as, say, like a 60-year-old woman that just wants better heart health. Her goal is just as important as mine. And if I can help her achieve that, then I'm going to do it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you see an opportunity knocking at your door, go answer it. Why, if you don't go answer it, then is it ever going to come back? 90% of the time, the answer is no. It's never going to come back.
Exactly. Tomorrow's not promised. All we have is today.
Exactly. I like that. I haven't heard that saying for a very long time, Rob. I can still remember all the good quotes you used to give at the gym as well.
I love my quotes.
Oh, give us another one since you're on a bit of a roll. I'm going to take a little bit of a sit back.
Let's go. Life is like a grain of sand going through the hourglass, but it's up to us which way we're turning it.
I like that. That's quite deep. That is very inspirational. I'll give you that much, Rob. You haven't lost your touch. I'll give you that.
No, it's just got better with age, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you've been frozen for the last 10 years. You pulled a Captain America because in all honesty, Rob, you haven't changed a bit, bless you. I know I've said that before, but you still look in phenomenal shape.
Thank you. Training, it helps you. It's like reverses time.
Of course, yeah. I mean, like I've bumped into people nowadays, and they keep asking. Well, I haven't seen them in 25 years, and they like say to me, "Well, you still haven't looked the same." And bear in mind, this is people from school I haven't seen in 25 years, and they say to me, like, "You look exactly the same." I said, "Yeah, but minus a few grey hairs here and there. I didn't have grey hairs or the stubble back then." Like, what's your secret? I said, I've been using this old ancient technique. It's been around for centuries. He goes, what is it? What is it? So I said, it's called working out. That's what it's called. It's called working out. Just go to the gym about an hour a day, clear your mind. It looks after your mental health. It looks after your physical health. Yeah. And that's the other benefit that people don't seem to realize what going to the gym is about. It's your mental health. I always believe looking after the mental health is way more important than looking after just the physical health.
It is, because they're all intertwined. You know, if you've got a good, strong, positive outlook on things, it reflects in your body and your physique, how you present yourself. It's like if you're having a bad day, it shows in your body, your whole body language. But if you go in with a positive mindset, everything about you absorbs positivity.
Exactly, yeah. Because it's all about how, it's true that it's all about how you reflect yourself, and that first expression always counts.
Exactly, yeah. You are your biggest expression of you.
Yeah, and you could be your own worst enemy, or you could be your own best friend, but it's up to you which path you're going to go down.
Exactly, it is. It's a path. You take your choice. You know, when you wake up in the morning, are you going left or are you going right?
Yeah, but again, that's your choice. No one's going to make that decision for you but you.
Exactly.
And when it comes to, so obviously, what is your fitness speciality? Like, obviously, when a client comes to approach you and everything, how do you go by breaking down the program for them?
What I tend to do is mine mainly is anything like muscle building. If they're toning, I hate the word toning, but if they're building muscle, it's just toning. It's just everything.
Yeah.
You're either
Yeah.
building muscle or losing weight. So, it's that, not toning. But it's muscle building is my sort of thing. But I tend to break it down over 4-week cycles. So the first
Yeah.
4 weeks, then we have another 4, and then it's basically a 12-week plan laid out, but broken into 3 different stages. Each stage complements the next progression.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, for example, you're training a fellow competitive bodybuilder. How do you go by, or for example, I'll change that one. So somebody who wants to get into the sport of pro bodybuilding, how do you go by approaching that?
But I always get them the first 4 week, it's about mind muscle connection. Most people
Yeah.
go to the gym, focus on moving weight. I'm not into that. I want you to move the muscle, because moving the muscle will create more muscle. Yeah, we need a little bit of resistance, but when you start pushing heavy weights, you end up using all the muscles that you shouldn't be using, and you miss the muscle that we should. So if someone's bench pressing and they're loading the bar up and they're doing 3 or 4 reps, that's brilliant. But you probably worked your chest 20% of that, and then your shoulders, your back, and your tricep got the most of it. So I
Yeah.
break everything right back to the beginning. It's like an education the first 4 weeks. Engaging muscle tissue. If they're doing a lat pull down, right, what I want you to do is pull your lats down first, contract it, now pull the bar. So get that blood in that muscle, and it just re-educates them into moving muscle, not weight.
That is really good, because sometimes I've made that mistake as well. I'm going to confess to that. I sometimes make that mistake as well when you're trying to work the chest, but I feel like, why is my back working at the same time when I didn't engage it? That's definitely the wrong technique that you're doing. So it's all about, obviously, connect. Now I'm training the chest. Keep reminding yourself that goal, and then that way you'll see a much better outcome at the end of it, and you feel the pump much better, won't you?
Think of the muscle you're training. That's exactly where you should be feeling it. And again, it's that pump. So that's what we want to start with. If we get the pump and the muscle, we're onto a good foot. It means we're working it.
Definitely. And what is your main overall? So coming to the competition, obviously you're a competitive bodybuilder. It's easily told just by looking at you, because from here where I'm sitting, you're practically filling the whole screen up, and I do mean that compliment.
I sort of edge myself in a little bit.
No, you're doing a good job. It's just another way of saying you're doing a really great job, Rob. And thank you. You're most welcome. And how do you go by preparing for each competition? What is the first step that you do? What's the second step, like the meal prep and everything? Please, I'm sure everybody out there is going to want to know how you do it.
It's a weird one, because like when that pandemic hit, obviously we were all told we can't go to gyms or anything like that, and all that fun stuff. So I basically retired from competing. I was like, well, there's no point. I can't do this. So I had 4 years out, and then last year I decided to give it one more go, get back on stage and see if I could do it in my 40s.
Yeah.
So I just picked a show that would happen to be 4 weeks time, and I literally did a massive 4-week prep. And I thought, can I go from being 91 kilos to getting to about 70 kilos in 4 weeks? So I had a game plan set. Again, I didn't know if my body was going to respond, because the classes that I picked was the over 40s and then the under 75. I thought, right, if I get down to 75, I'm going to be quite good shape. So I literally dropped all my food right down. I went back to intermittent fasting, because this was like, I've got 4 weeks. I need to really crank this up. So I had to go to extreme. So I was doing intermittent fasting. So I was on 2 meals a day. My first meal of the day would be at 1 o'clock. And then my last meal of the day would be about 6 p.m. And then I wouldn't eat again. I'd get to the gym like I do now, 4 a.m. every morning. I'd do 40 minutes weights, and then I'd do 2 hours cardio. And I did that for 4 weeks solid, just to get to that. And then I ended up turning up to the show. I weighed in about 69 kilos. So I was well under the 75. I ended up taking first in the over 40s, first in the under 75s, and third in the overall. My first show back.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. And then I ended up competing for, there was a show called the Rhinos Classic, which was a qualifier for the BPA, British Championships. I took third in the over 40s, second in the under 80s, got the invite. 2 weeks later, I turned up to the British finals, weighed in at 68 kilos, and became the first BPA under 70 kilos British champion.
Cool.